I am the game now.
All right, so you had a chance to go through the form, looking at some of the other trailers, to kind of get an idea of what it is that we are looking at, and what makes a good game, because you're going to be making a game. And I kind of felt like, based on some of the processes that take place within the immune system and the immune response and things like that, I think there's a level of interaction and branching pathways and stuff like that can take place that can be explained through some sort of interactivity like a game. The immune system, like I've mentioned in my videos and some of the other stuff, has some sort of blanket response, very indiscriminate behavior, and then there's some other ones that are very specialized and they're very good at what they do. And I think those different levels of response and things like that work really well if we're making something like a game or interactive fiction or something like that. And so that's what you're going to build, okay, to illustrate all the different moving parts and how they fit together and how they respond to each other and things like that. You're going to make a game. Now, as far as what type of game you make, I'm not particular, okay? You can make a board game. I've got some examples of those that I'll show in a little bit. I've got card games. You can do an interactive story or a choose-your-own-adventure or something like that. You can even do video games, and there are some resources that are available that you can make video games. And if you feel technologically savvy enough to do that, then I think it would work. You could do a lot of really good things with it. Your product has to have two main things. Number one, it needs to be interactive. We need to be able to make decisions that affect the overall experience, okay? And then it needs to be educational. We have to learn something about the immune system and the lymphatic system, okay? The different cells, the different processes like primary and secondary response and things like that, okay? In addition to this, you will also be creating a pitch, a 2-minute pitch similar to the videos that you watched prior to this. This is your advertisement, the commercial break. How are you going to get people to want to play your game, basically, is what this is. And then the other thing you're going to do is you're going to make the box that it goes into, and your game and all the materials associated with it, if this is a physical game. Instructions, game pieces, promo material, all that other stuff have to fit inside the box. We don't want pieces to get lost and things like that. We want this stuff to be portable because we want people to play these games, okay? And we'll get into a little bit more about that once we come back from spring break. The individual components, because the game and the pitch and the box, that's the group product, okay? And that's what you're going to be presenting. The individual product is it's the peer assessment for collaboration piece. How well are you working together? How well is your team working together? The individual reflection as well. Now the reflection, this time around, the writing is going to be a little bit different because individually you are going to identify the components in the game that reflect the immune system, right? So how did you incorporate the elements of the immune system from the note-taking guide or the study guide into your game and how they work together, as well as a personal reflection. So this one is going to be a little bit longer because I'm demonstrating, do you individually know how your game portrays the human immune response, okay? And then there is also the reflection piece as well. So just be keeping that in mind as you're going through. Everybody needs to have a handle on how the game works, okay? There's going to be a take-home test for this one also. It's been a little while since we've had a unit test. We haven't had one for the circulatory system or the respiratory system yet. Please stay tuned for more information about that, by the way. But there is definitely going to be a take-home test for the immune system. that window is going to open up. That date is actually incorrect on here. It is not February 26th. It's going to be the week of presentations. And I will fix this as soon as I'm done with this video. But the actual test window for the test will be during presentation week, which is right here, the week of the 29th. So that's 2 weeks after we come back from spring break. There's a 1 week in there. After we come back from spring break, we're still working on this. Then we do presentations after that. So the test will be the week of the 29th, not the week of February 26th. That's also difficult because at the time of this filming, it is March 8th. February 26th was a week ago. Okay, so benchmarks that we need to pay attention to. We've got a benchmark coming up on March 10th. That is the game type, and I'll talk more about that in class. Then when we come back after spring break on March 24th, that I believe is also a Wednesday, you need to have your rough draft. We need to be able to see the game, basically, and kind of maybe we can't physically play it, but if you walk us through it, we can sort of picture it going in our heads and stuff like that. And your final project submission is the following week on A-Day. It is the 29th. Now, I know that is a Monday. A lot of us are doing physical artifacts, physical games. And so that you have to have your game into me before school starts on the day you present. Okay, so A-Day, you have to have your game physically into me before the start of first period on Monday. B-Day, folks, you have to have yours in before the start of school on Tuesday. Now, if you're doing an electronic artifact, you're making a video game or something like that, when you get done, you can submit it to me in Echo, and I'll have a Dropbox open for that also. You will need to submit your video that we're going to be showing on presentation day, okay? So everybody definitely needs to do that. And then your physical artifacts need to come in before school starts. Presentations will take place on the 29th and the 30th, not the 24th and the 25th. I apologize, folks. I was in a hurry to make this. So presentations will be on the 29th and the 30th. When you check back into Echo, you will see the updated dates in this entry document. This way. Let me know which way is correct. This way? I don't know. The entry document is going to be correct. Okay? So presentation day is March 29th and March 30th, and then we jump into the next unit. The idea is, now this is fluid right here, the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, setting up the games to play. We may do something on Eagle Day. I may see if I can get the board game club or tabletop games to help us out with this. We may do it at lunch, maybe try to push it out during advisory, something like that. But these games need to be playable. We want them to be fun because we want other people to play them, okay? So be thinking of that as well as you're making your final product. Okay, as far as the learning objectives, if you want to know what it is that we're supposed to be covering, here they are right here. Down at the bottom, they're also listed in the agenda as we're going through. These are also reflected in the study guide, the main study guide. So have that handy. Also, as you're going through, use that as a checklist. Make sure you've got everything incorporated and stuff like that. At this point, you should work with your group on doing group contract, knows and need to knows, and then start planning your document. If you have not completed the group sign-up form, you need to fill out that form by the end of the day today. So either Monday for first and second or Tuesday for fifth and sixth, so I can have groups finalized by the time I see everybody on Wednesday, so you can get benchmark 1 posted, which is your game type and a brief description of what you're thinking about. If you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email, send me a remind message, ask me in class, drop a link, not a link. I mean, I guess if you want to drop a link, drop a comment below. I do read my comments. I just don't get that many. And we will go from there. Oh, you know what? P.S. You also need to fill out your project folder, okay? Just like we did with the last one. So, project title, dash, your group members' names. So, immunity is just a game, dash, Thompson, Siberian, Munich. That's an example, okay? So, somebody in your group needs to make that. Your planning documents need to go in there also, just like we did on the last project, okay? Now, finally, that's it. Look forward to seeing y'all again soon.